Once upon a time, over the hills and far away in Russia, there was a valley where a river flowed through it. Next to it, you had a forest of pine, where the birds sang, bear proud, and Arctic foxes lost themselves in the snow come winter time. And in the valley, there was a farm, where two people lived. The grandfather, Dedyushka, and grandmother, Babushka. The snow had melted, thaw had come, spring was there. And just like he was doing every spring, Dedyushka came out in the field and started to sow vegetables. He sowed carrots, orange and purple ones, all over the place. Because he loved carrots. He loved to eat them sauté or just have stick to dip in his smetana and his sour cream and eat them. He also sowed cabbages because he loved them. And besides, Babushka's recipe of pickled cabbage and sauerkraut was famous all over the oblast and even beyond. And last, but certainly not least, he sowed some turnips. Turnips, the staple that would feed him and keep minds and hearts together in the cold, dark depth of the Russian winter. Summer came, the sun crawled shyly in the field, and the family's dog Sabaka was playing around. And the family's granddaughter Vnushka had even come for the holidays from faraway Moscow. Autumn was almost there, and with it, harvest time. Dedyushka went out in the field to harvest. One by one, it plucked out the orange and purple carrots. They looked yummy. He was looking forward to dinner tonight. Then he moved on to another corner of the field where the cabbages lay. Bright, big, green cabbages, as big as a human head. Plucked them all. He could already smell the vinegar and the brine coming from the kitchen. Tonight Babushka would be very busy, cutting and pickling the cabbage to be made into sauerkraut and be sold in the market all over the land. And last but not least, in the last corner of the field were the turnips. One by one in his cart, until there was a final one remaining, tucked right away in a forgotten corner. He looked at it and it seemed a bit bigger, just a tiny bit bigger than the others. And he started pulling at it. But the turnip would not budge. It was as if the ground had already frozen, permafrost, in the middle of the sun. But undeterred, he called for her. Babushka, idiki suda! And Babushka came over. The two of them pulled together at the turnip, but still stuck in place, glued to the ground. Turnip wouldn't move. Vnushka was in the kitchen, making some pastries. They called over, Nishka, idiki suda! Three of them. Vnushka, Babushka, and Dedyushka tried again, but they couldn't do it. Sabaka, come over. He knew the field, he knew the land, he'd been playing it all over the summer. So, four of them now, men and animal, I don't know to go at it, and still, the turnip would not budge. So Sabaka called upon reinforcement, his worst rival and enemy in the house. The family cat, Koshka, that was sleeping as she always did on a fur blanket and licking to keep herself pretty. But tickled by the prospect of a reward, and more petting, Koshka came along as well. 5 of them had another go at it. Failed again. Exhausted, they were running out of ID. But Babushka had one final ID. Went back to the house and sprinkled some cheese to call upon a tiny weeny mouse, Nyushka, that came along. 6 of them. Degushka, Babushka, Vnushka, Sabaka, Myushka and Koshka all tugged on each other and had a go at it and pop! The turnip came out of the ground. It was big, it was massive. It was easily the size of this room. There would be a lot of stew tonight and a lot of food in the larder for the cold, dark months ahead. Needless to say, there was a lot of food on the table this evening and everyone ate their fair portion. Some people say that Nyushka actually had a little bit more than others related to his size, but hey, fair game. His contribution was decisive in the end, in defeating the giant turnip. Contribution to defeat nature herself. So what's the moral of this story, of this fairy tale, after all? The moral of this fairy tale is that the greatest deeds and the greatest achievements are only possible through the combined words and the combined efforts of everyone else. And where the smallest person can sometimes make the most decisive contribution, the last final notch that is we need to pull the boulder on the other side of the mountain. There are many examples in your lives. And think big is one of my motto. I love the sharp, I love big achievement, I love the London Underground. If I could build a dam across the North Sea and build a giant boulder, I would do it. But let's have a look at these things. One small step for a man, putting a man on the moon. One man said that word. But behind that man, there were millions of engineers, technicians, scientists, workers in factories, drawing offices and workshops all over the globe, toiling at the task. Their names forgotten history. Their achievement remembered for all time. Eternity. One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. All of us have travelled through tunnels to come here. The London Underground. An amazing achievement used by 5 million of us every day. But a century ago, men driving like ants, like mouses, like tiny mushka, were scraping at the ground with their bare hands, picks and shovels and compressed air. And they built the tunnels we are using today. Their names forgotten to history, but their achievement used by millions of us today in this day and age. The very electricity that lights this room, as if by magic, by the flick of a switch. Magic, really. Is it just a fairy tale? Is it just not by fairy? No. As we speak, there will be people working through the night shift in power station and control centers. I used to be one of them 3 years ago. Many, many of them. Working like ants, like mouses, checking their machineries to keep us safe through the night. Tiny mouses that make great deeds possible. A very good saying says, the man that wants to remove the mountains begins by carrying away the small stones. But the small stone, the smallest stone, can be carried away by the tiniest, weeniest mouse, by Ochin Malenkaya, Yushka.